Here I am, everybody. Happy Make It Monday. Welcome to another episode with me, your host, Laura Buchler of Inky Fingers Paper Crafting. Just arrived back from onstage in Houston, Texas, with an unexpected overnight in the Calgary Marriott Hotel. Oh boy, I sure hope my insurance is going to cover that one, because that was an expensive stay for a very, very short, I think I spent less than 8 hours in that hotel room. But here we are. We're ready to get creative. Stevie's here with me. Hi, Stevie. Stevie's going to help me give away a card later. So appreciative of that. So appreciative of you, whether you're watching live or on the replay, to see some awesome brand new products coming your way on May 1st from Stampin' Up! All right, let's get into it because we have so much fun stuff to do today. Don't forget to stick around to the end of the video where we're going to be giving away a beautiful card that we made last week, this incredible hexagon card. Stevie, would you take that off for now? And we'll get to that later. Okay, buddy? All right, cool. Whew, okay. We have so much. First of all, did you notice my hat? Isn't this very cute? Cute little hat. I don't wear hats very often, but I love this one. So, all right. So I brought home lots of beautiful new products from Onstage, and I also brought home the gorgeous new catalog. If you want a copy of that, why don't you just put #catalog in the comments, and I'll make sure that I get one to you, okay? It is a fabulous, fantastic catalog. There's so much great stuff in it, as always, and this catalog is different from any catalog you've seen before. So you're going to want to get your hands on it. I want to give you a little bit of a sneak peek. This is a color wheel that we demonstrators who attended Onstage got this color wheel, and there is a color wheel right in the catalog for you. Okay, it shows every single one of our Stampin' Up! Colors, and it gives you a little bit of color theory about how to choose colors for your project. Okay, I love that, and I was inspired by that, as well as an awesome card that I saw online to make today's project, which I have just done a very quick little test run 2 seconds ago. I finished, and I think it's going to work. And we are going to be using the new in colors from 2024 to 2026. These are your gorgeous new in colors. They are Peach Pie, Petunia Pop, Pretty in Pink, Shy Shamrock, and Summer Splash. Aren't they gorgeous? Very summery indeed. Love them. Okay, so we're going to be using these colors. I have a little bit of the cardstock for these colors. I don't have the ink yet. And we're going to be using, well, I wanted to show you this whole Spotlight on Nature bundle. This is what everybody voted for. When I asked what product you wanted me to use, everyone voted for this bundle. Now, we're not going to be using the stamp set today, simply because I don't have new ink colors. And the card that we're using today, or creating today, you don't actually need a lot of stamping. But we will be using some of these fantastic circle dies. Look at how many circle dies there are in this bundle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 circle dies, and they've got all these cool different designs. There's this one I like to call like a radiating design. This one is like eyelets, and then this one, I don't know what you would call that. It's like dash, dot, dash, dot. I don't know. Morse code, maybe. Anyway, great dies in this bundle, and we're going to be making great use of them today with a color wheel inspired project. Now, I also want to give a shout out because I saw a sample online of somebody who had created something like this. And I'm going to assume it was her card was not watermarked, so I don't know who it was. But if it was you, thank you for your inspiration, and I hope that you like what I'm going to create with it today. Okay, let's get started. I have got a thick white cardstock base as well as another 4 by 5 1/4 piece of white cardstock, and I've got a whole bunch of little 1/4-inch strips of those new in colors that we just talked about. Hey Lena, thanks for joining. I hope you enjoy my project. I loved what you posted on Share It Saturday. I haven't even had time to go back and comment on those posts, but I saw your project, and as usual, I was like, yes, please, this looks terrific. So I'm going to grab my tweezers. I am just applying my multi-purpose glue to these little wee strips and putting them onto my cardstock. And when you're using these little strips, like I said, they're just 1/4 inch wide. So multi-purpose glue is the thing to do. It would be hard to do with your double-sided tape because your double-sided tape is going to be too wide for that. So that's why I've got my glue out, and I can see already I've put a little bit too much on here, so I'm going to scrape some off with another color. Just so elegant and graceful, right? And I like to use my tweezers when I'm using my multi-purpose glue to try and keep my fingers glue-free for as long as possible. It's never going to be the whole project, but if we can delay it, that's usually a good thing. All right, so I am working on using or learning the names of these new colors while I'm working on this project. So I'm going to say them again in the order that I'm putting them on here. We have got Petunia Pop at the top. Then we've got, I just did two of the same, didn't I? Yes, I did. Okay. Next one is Summer Splash. This is the one I meant to grab. Okay, so Petunia Pop, Summer Splash, and then the next one is Peach Pie. And the one I'm putting on here now is Shy Shamrock. Very appropriate because we just had St. Patrick's Day the other day, right? I kind of missed St. Patrick's Day because I spent the entire day in airports. Oh, Heather, I'm so glad you love the new catalog. Feels like a high-end craft magazine. I agree. Customers, followers, stampers, what you're going to notice when you see this new catalog, which will be in the coming weeks, you will how to information about a lot of sketches in there. They've got color throughout the color. There are techniques. It's a lot more of how to create, not just here's the products to create with. And I love that. It means that any customer, you know what, I'm going to rephrase that. Any person who opens up that catalog, who might not even think of themselves as a crafter, can start figuring out what they might want to start with without getting overwhelmed, right? I love that. Okay, so I'm going to name these colors one more time, and the reason I'm going to do that is because I want you all to put in the comments which one is your favorite at this moment. I'm not going to hold you to it. I know those choices are going to change as you start to see more of them and you get to play with them yourself. But as of today's video, whether you're watching live or on replay, I want to know. We've got Petunia Pop, we've got Summer Splash, Peach Pie, Shy Shamrock, and this one is Pretty in Pink. Okay, Heather says Summer Splash is her favorite. Summer Splash reminds me a lot of Coastal Cabana. It's like a little bit greener maybe. What do I need next? I need Peach Pie. Yeah, so I love it too. At this moment, Petunia Pie is my, or Petunia Pop. What would a Petunia Pie taste like? Probably not that good. Petunia Pop is my current favorite, and Summer Splash is my second favorite. Yeah, Lena, what's your favorite of these 5 gorgeous colors? Okay. So we're getting there. We're getting there. I keep having to look at my pattern up here and seeing what order I've put them in because I want to keep the same order. Obviously, I cut way more strips than I needed, but that's okay. I can do more cards with this pattern, this technique. All right, there's my Pretty in Pink. As a child of the 80s, that makes me think of Molly Ringwald. Great movie from the late 80s. Actually, I have no idea if it's great. I remember it as being great, but I don't know. It might not stand up to my standards now. Okay, and so now I'm going to put another Petunia Pop at the bottom, and then we're ready for the next step on this card. You're undecided. Well, that's fair, Lena. Sometimes you want to get them in your hands before you start making up your mind, right? Hopefully we can do that as soon as possible. Get these gorgeous colors into your hands, and then you can start playing with them. All right, my glue is being a silly Billy, so I'm going to grab my other glue. It's a good thing about having 2 glues. Here we go. And we're going to put that right down at the bottom. Okay, so obviously, when you look at this, you notice these 2 Pretty in Pinks are longer than the rest. They're hanging over the edge. So I'm going to snip them off with my little paper snips. There we go. And now we're ready to play and create the next part. All right, doesn't that look cool? It looks like designer series paper almost, but all I've done is tape on all these strips of cardstock. Well, glue them on. All right, next step, we are going to do some die cutting with these fabulous circles. I'm going to choose 4 circles. I'm going to start with, I'm going to start with this radiating one. That is too big. Okay, I'm going to start with this one. There we go. I'm just going to choose 4 circles, getting smaller in size. I don't want to have 2 patterns the same in a row though. So I'm not going to do that one. I'm going to do this one. And then this one. Okay, so I've got the dash and the dots, I've got the eyelets, I've got the radiating, I've got all 3 of the patterns. So the final one could be any of them. I'm going to put this one in the middle to go back to the original pattern. Okay, so that looks good, right? Obviously, I have to turn them the other way around for them to actually do their job. And I'm going to make sure I leave enough of a gap on the side here that I'm not ending up with a tiny, tiny little edge that's going to be fragile. I'm having a tiny amount of difficulty only because my fingers are sticky. We knew that they would be. But what I'm trying to do is get these all lined up so they're more or less even and they're more or less all in a row together. And that's looking pretty good. And then I'm going to grab some washi tape or any other kind of tape that is not permanent. It's just kind of a low tack tape. And I'm going to get my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. right, boost up the camera. Hey, speaking of cameras, guess what my amazing husband did while I was away? And then I didn't find out about it until 25 minutes ago or so. He came in right before I was going to do my live, and he said, "Hey, are you getting ready to do your live?" And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Well, guess what I got for you? It's an early Mother's Day present." He bought me a webcam. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, if he bought you a webcam, Laura, why is your camera still all blurry? Well, because 5 minutes before I go live is not really enough time to set up a webcam. And I had other things to get done in the 5 minutes before I went live. Like finish making the card and making sure that everything was going to work the way I needed it to. So the webcam is not hooked up yet, but it is sitting there looking excellent. And hopefully this will be the last time that you will see this weird blurriness. Okay, so you might have noticed I put that through the machine twice. That's because we're cutting through 2 layers, right? We've got the in colors and then we've got the white on the back. And it's still not cutting through like the detailed pattern as much as I might like it to, because it's going through those extra layers. But I'm not actually worried about that today, because it's not really about those detailed patterns. It's just about the circles. So I'm not going to sweat the small stuff. I'm just going to take this out of my machine and show you what the next step is going to be. I'm going to grab another piece of cardstock. This is just the same size as the one I started with. I'm going to pull my camera back in here so you can see what I'm doing. Oh, I'm so glad, Lena, that you think the dies are awesome. I think they are too. Okay, so let's gently peel off the washi tape. Ta-da! A little bit of washi tape damage here, but I won't worry about it. I'll put an embellishment there. Okay, so I'm going to tape these 2 pieces together, and they're the same size, so that's pretty easy to do. I'm going to get my adhesive. Oh boy. The adhesive might not work. I might need to just use my glue again, because it's a little bumpy with all those little strips of cardstock. But it's working okay. All right, there we go. All right, so now what we've got is our beautiful stripes, as we had before, and a great big circular gap. But don't worry, we're going to fill in that gap with the lovely circles that we've die cut. So pulling off that washi tape, and the dies can just go to the side. Look at these gorgeous circles we've created. Now I could use the take your pick tool to poke out all these little bits. Let's see how far I can get with that. Actually, it's coming out pretty good. I was worried that with the double layers that might not work. But for the outside one, at least, it's going pretty well. Did I speak too soon? So what has everybody else been up to while I was away in Houston? Tell me how your week has been. I feel totally discombobulated because I was supposed to get home last night. This is sounding like a familiar story now, right? I was supposed to get home last night, but my flight out of Houston was delayed. Delayed so badly that I missed my connection out of Calgary. But every other I had to stay at very expensive. So yeah, I expected to get home soon. Discombobulated, but it's good to be home. My friend Glenda says, I love being at on stage and I love being at home, but I sure hate the BS in between. Air travel is both super awesome and deeply inconvenient and unpleasant. Okay. All right. So we got the first circle die mostly poked out. There's a couple still stubborn ones hanging on there, but I don't want to make you wait anymore. So you can see why I was not super generous with my glue, but I did, go all the way down these strips with the glue instead of just putting, a dot at each end and a couple in the middle, because I knew I was going to be cutting these out and I didn't want these colored pieces to start falling off due to lack of adhesive once I did that. Okay, so I'm going to put that here. Oh yeah, Lena, I heard about Anne breaking her wrist. Gosh, that's sad. Oh, I'm so glad that you've been helping her out, taking her to her appointments. I hope that it's on the mend and will be all better soon. She can get back to crafting. Okay, so this one, happily, nothing to poke out. Oh, my thumb is so sticky. Look at all this gunk stuck to it. All right, then we have these two. And I'm going to poke out. I'm going to do a little poking out. Let's see. What about if I grab my cone pad? That's one I always forget to use. Okay, Heather had surgery. I hope your surgery went well. And then you followed all of us in Houston. Yeah, you must have had lots of your demonstrator friends posting about it, right? Gosh, it was an amazing time for sure. I never regret going. And I learned a lot, got to connect with so many people I already knew, people I hadn't seen in a while, people I knew from online but hadn't met in person, and people that I never knew anything about before and got to meet them for the first time. This one is not poking out well. It didn't cut all the way through, so I'm not going to worry about it. If you were to replicate this, I would recommend running it through the machine a few more times to make sure if you wanted to poke out all those little bits. Okay, and then let's see how this one's going to do. I think we're going to be able to get this one just because it's a little bit less fussy than the other one. We'll see. I don't know. I tried that foam mat. I don't know if it really does anything. I still end up using the Pokey Pokey. Okay. Anne is out of commission for another 3 weeks. Oh, she must be going up the wall, not being able to do her crafting. Whew, maybe she's catching up on lots of, whatever series she likes to watch. She can watch all of it and just have a relax. Easier said than done. If it were me, I'd be struggling with that. She's lucky to have you to take care of her. Oh, speaking of people I met at Onstage, some of you will find this, you will know these names and others won't, but that's okay. There was a breakout session that was specifically for Silver Elite demonstrators and above. So I was in that breakout session and I was way over on one side of the room. You know how when you go into a great big meeting room and all the seats right by the door are really, really crowded, but then if you walk all the way to the opposite end of the room, there's tons and tons of space? That's what I did. I walked all the way to the opposite side of the room and sat down, and who should come sit down next to me but Patty Bennett, who just hit her 3 million sales achievement. She's one of the top stampers, one of the top demonstrators in the United States and in the world. So she came and sat down next to me, and then along came her friends, Lisa Curcio, Mary Deathridge, and Amy Kunders, all of whom were honored at OnStage for their amazing accomplishments with Stampin' Up. These are million sellers, top performers, team builders, leaders, and they all just happened to sit down next to me. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. Maybe after the session, I'll be able to ask them for a selfie. Well, guess what happens next? The person who's leading the session says, all right, for this next part, we want you to break into small groups. And I ended up in a small group with all of those amazing people. That's the kind of magic that can happen at OnStage, right? Wow! Yeah. And then the amazing part of it is they were all really lovely. I mean, I shouldn't be surprised by that because crafters are the nicest people in the world. But yeah, they were all super nice, super welcoming, just delightful to talk to, and welcomed me right into their group and, wanted to hear what I had to say. And nobody was snobby or what do you know? I have to admit, I didn't talk much. I just listened. But I did ask a few questions, and yeah, it was an incredible experience just to rub shoulders with these inspiring people. And then, yes, we totally took a selfie afterwards. Okay, so I have got my first die cut circle. I'm ready to put it on my card. Now, obviously, I don't want to just put it right back where it would have been. Otherwise, why did I do all this work? I'm going to turn it 90 degrees and put it so that these stripes are going vertically instead of horizontally. Okay. Then I'm going to take the next one and I'm going to turn it so it's going back horizontally again. And I could go that way, or I could go that way. I kind of like that way better. Yeah, so you can play with this however you want to, right? I was going to say that earlier too, actually, when I was putting the strips on the card. I cut all my strips the same width, but you don't have to. You could cut them in varying widths, and you could put them onto the cardstock, kind of like smaller gaps, larger gaps. You could play with that a lot. I kept mine really even. You could put these so that each circle is like turning a little bit more, like rotating a little bit more. I'm just going for a straight, like we started with horizontal stripes, then I went vertical stripes, now horizontal stripes. My next one is going to be vertical again. So there's lots and lots and lots of options, right, that you could use while you're playing with this technique. Okay. And for this, you really don't need a lot of glue because these dies are fitting in right exactly. There's no gap. So it's they fit quite snugly, and they don't need a lot of help to stay where you're putting them. All right, here's my final one. Oh, my fingers are so sticky now. Okay, now I'm kind of turning this around. Like if I put this here, it actually matches up with the stripes along the side. So I could do that. And just mess with it, right? Do something unexpected with it. All right, so that's the card front. All I'm going to do now is pop it onto a card base. I've got a thick basic white base sitting here waiting for me. And as I said, there's not really a lot of stamping in this card, but I did want to add a little bit of a sentiment. How do you add a little bit of a sentiment, Laura? I wanted to add full of a sentiment. sticky bit. On my fingers. Ah! All right, so I have already cut out with my just wanted to say dies. I have cut out the word celebrate. So I've got the black layer and then I've put Berry Burst on top. So that goes really well with these bright, exciting new colors. And so that's going to be my sentiment on the card. I'm going to grab some little mini dimensionals to pop it up on my card. And then you know we are going to add some in color gems. Another fabulous new product to show you to add that to the card. So these new colors and all the other awesome new products in the brand new catalog are going to be available to you on May 1st. Where is my bling? Okay, let's put that there. Let's put that there so you have something interesting to look at while I try and find my bling. There's so much stuff all over my desk. Oh, take a breath. There it is. I found it. Woo! Okay, so I didn't get to use the Spotlight on Nature stamp set today, but we're definitely going to bring that one back closer to the time that it's available, and we'll play with that one together on a Make It Monday. But in the meantime, here are my gorgeous in color shimmer gems, and I'm going to pop some of those on there for some bling bling. Okay, let's put that there. So we could be celebrating anything with this card. We could be celebrating someone's birthday. We could be celebrating an anniversary of some kind, a special day, an accomplishment, new job. We could be celebrating these beautiful new colors and the release of a new catalog, right? Options, options, options. What kind of things would you like to celebrate? Heather could be celebrating getting through her surgery and recovering. Lena could be celebrating what a great friend she is by helping her friend Anne, and that Anne is on the mend. I don't know. Tell me what else you might want to celebrate while you have a look at this gorgeous card. Okay, so in a minute, we're going to get Stevie over here. We're going to get Stevie to come and give away the card that we made last week. But before we do that, I want to remind everybody to go ahead and hit that heart button if you enjoyed the video, if you enjoyed getting some sneak peeks into these new products and a glimpse of the new catalog. Those hearts really help Facebook to know that these videos are fun and that they should be shared with more and more people to join us on our crafty adventures on Make It Monday. Okay, and if you would like to win this awesome, fun Celebrate card, don't forget to share the video and leave a comment below that you've shared, and I'll be putting your name in the draw to see who will win next week. Okay, now we have an awesome card to give away. Stevie's going to bring it over here. There we go. Awesome. Thank you, Stevie. Oh, please put it in the frame, though. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Now, Stevie, are you coming back? Oh, Stevie's feeling shy today. Stevie, pretty please, will you come back? If I give you an embellishment, will you come back? Okay. Okay, he's coming back. Whew. Here comes Stevie, everybody, and he's ready to tell us who won today's card, or last week's card. Who won, Stevie? Lori. Yay, Lori! All right, thank you. Thank you, Stevie, and thank you, Lori, for sharing this beautiful card from last week, and I will be popping that in the mail to you. And thank you, everybody, for watching, whether you're watching live or on the replay. I appreciate each and every single one of you, and I appreciate that I get to be your demonstrator and share what I love. So the products you've seen me use today are not available yet, but they will be available on May 1st. So don't forget to put a comment if you would like me to send you a catalog. And in the meantime, you can check out my website, inkyfingers.ca, for all of the other products, some of which are going to be retiring. So don't wait. If you want to place an order, make sure you get that in soon. You'll also find on the website lots of project tutorials, my events calendar for in-person and virtual events, all the current catalogs, and my sign up for my email newsletter. Have a great day, everyone. Happy stamping. Bye-bye.